what is it? The Levine team.
Team Levine, baby. Team Levine.
Sorry, Team Levine. Team Levine.
That's okay.
194 Real Estate is the name of the company. The website is 194realestate.com. You can reach Jay directly on his cell phone. You can text or call him at 201-906-5019. And obviously you can email him at Team Levine Realtors at gmail.com. So real quick, let me do a little intro on Jay. Jay and I, believe it or not, I remember Jay when he was a very little kid. Now there's an age difference between Jay and me. Jay, how much of an age difference is there between you and me? I'm 49.
I will be 38 years old in just about a month.
30 years old. Okay, so
38.
38. 30. Okay, so there's about a 10-year difference. So I remember going into a local hardware store in Closter.
Can we just be clear that the 10-year difference is I'm younger? Can we be clear about that?
No, the 10-year difference is that Jay is obviously older than me. And that, I remember going into the local hardware store in Closter, New Jersey, where I grew up. And it was hometown hardware, right? What was it called?
Windmill Hardware.
It's
now hometown hardware.
Right, which is ironic because his grandfather had the absolute worst toupee in the world. And if you've ever seen Jay's hair, Jay, show me hair. I mean, what's up? That's real, but his grandfather had, I don't even know what the hell it was. It was like a dead raccoon on top of his head. And between him and his dad, and it was just too funny because my father and his grandfather were very friendly, and they always used to joke around. And Jay and I actually reconnected a couple of years back, and it was just odd that, like, wait, Levine, and he said, yeah, Closter, and like Marinoff. And I'm like, wait, your dad is blah, blah, blah. So the whole thing was just ironic. So it's weird in the industry of real estate how people can get intertwined. And you never know where people come from and where they don't come from. But so this is Jay Levine. Jay runs a real estate company with his lovely wife, Catherine. It's 194 Real Estate, and they are based out of New Milford, New Jersey. Jay, tell us a little bit about the company. Tell us a little bit about real estate. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. First off, I just want to make sure that you can hear me okay. I'm not choppy to you, right?
No, I hear you.
Okay. All right. So first off, Matt, thank you. You did not lie. We've known each other longer than we knew each other, if that makes sense. But we did meet, and this industry definitely intertwines. It's a small world, and especially with the amount of realtors that are out there, it's not odd to come across people in the industry. But again, thank you so much for having me on the show. I really appreciate it. What you do for people is amazing. I know your people before profit hashtag is something that we live by and didn't have words behind until we met you. So thank you for that. But yeah, we own a company in New Milford. We've owned it since we've been open since September of 2019. September 11, 2019. Actually, right before that, to jump a little bit further, we owned a Verizon wireless store. And we actually closed that store down on September 11, 2018. And opened up our firm September 11, 2019, not on purpose. We've been realtors for just about 4 years. We were with another company prior to that. But for us, it's just always been about relationships. My father, you mentioned, owned a hardware store. And I remember growing up in that environment. And, I call it like the Cheers of hardware stores because, people come in, everybody knew each other's name. It was a good time. You felt comfortable. They were building rapport with people and building relationships with people. And it was, you were coming in for a hammer and nails and you left with a hammer and nails. But what you also got was, an ear to listen, a shoulder to cry on, a friend, people that really stuck with you in good times and bad times. It was way more than a hardware store. Right. And that's just an example that I was always given in not only business, but just in general of how to treat people. So that's really what the basis is of our company, is making sure that we put the people first, and make sure relationships are the equity that that we're monitoring and measuring a lot.
So, you gave us a little, feedback about the Verizon stuff like that. So I guess one of my questions is, where have you been? And when I say where have you been, it's 4 years you've been in real estate. You came up pretty quick between you and your wife. You got a solid team. You started with a boutique agency, and then
Yep.
you eventually decided to go out on your own. And it's no secret, you guys are all over the place. As far as I'm concerned, you think New Milford, you think Levine team, because you guys are literally all over the place, which is pretty cool. Give me the name, or give me the idea, the concept behind the company name.
So 194 Real Estate Group is our address. 194 Main Street is where we're located physically. It's kind of a funny story, and I don't have the exact wording in front of me, but we were on an open house. This was prior to COVID, when we could have an open house. And an agent walked in and asked me the same thing. Is there a meaning behind the 194? And I had said, they actually thought it was a Bible quote. And I said, well, no, it's not. It wasn't a Bible quote. It's our address. So I looked it up later on, and I'm going to look it up again to know. But 194 actually stands for integrity. There's a couple different meanings for that, and there is some Bible quotes about it. It was very fitting. And I probably should look more into that, because it actually does coincide with our belief system as well, from what I was reading. But it's an interesting story. But it is our address.
Okay, so it has nothing to do with the Bible.
It has nothing to do with the Bible. Although, if that's what makes you feel good, then that's fine too. We're good with that.
Got it.
We're all inclusive at 194.
Got it. You're equal opportunist employer. I understand that. So let me ask you a question. We're going to bounce around a little bit, because I have a couple of questions that I've written down. But I'm asking people right now, what's going on during the COVID period, and I'm getting mixed reviews. I'm getting people that are stating to me that COVID's destroyed their business. They feel it's destroyed the industry. But you and I talk regularly, and I asked you, can we talk about it? You said absolutely. So I'm going to let you explain what you said to me. My question to you was, COVID-19 impacting Jay's team, yes or no? Good or bad?
Absolutely impacting our team, and I don't want to say good or bad. I will say that we are taking the situation that is in front of us and figuring out ways for it to work for us and not against us. What we have seen, I don't want to say an increase in business, because I don't know what business would have been like without COVID, because we were very busy prior to COVID.
Right.
But I can tell you that this doesn't feel too much off of what a normal spring market feels like, other than the fact that there is a little bit of a lower inventory, because there are people that are nervous. But in the pandemic, we've had 10 under contract and an attorney review at this point, and then 2 actually closed during the pandemic. So we're not slow, and we're just trying to make sure that we move this industry and people forward without fear, but still being empathetic. Listen, this is real. I spoke to somebody today that I said, I want to go show a house, and I might not be able to show it because they were diagnosed a couple days ago. And, it's far from over, but we do, whether what side of the political side you're on or what your opinion is on COVID itself, I'm not here to argue that. I don't even know if I have enough facts to argue that. What I can tell you is that I'm looking to keep my family safe. I'm looking to keep my team members safe. I'm looking to keep my clients safe. And I'm looking to make sure that not only our industry, but all industries can move forward as best they can. And, we support selling and buying homes is a huge, listen, you sell somebody's home, you're also helping someone purchase a home. Even if you sell to investors, that investor, you're helping put food on the table for his family, and you're also creating a new home for another family to live in. So, you're creating legacy. And so we have to keep that focus that we're doing good in this world, and we need to keep moving forward safely and make sure this business is good. So where this business is going right now is we're doing things a little differently. Yes, we are, wearing gloves and masks, and we're, making sure that we're doing one at a time, and we're not overcrowding any areas. But interest rates are super low. If you're out there right now buying, you're not just like kicking tires. Like it doesn't make sense for somebody to be out risking themselves and going out in this if they're not serious buyers. So the people that we've been showing houses are all serious buyers, and when they find something they like, they put offers on it. Right. We had a house in Teaneck just recently, and Teaneck's the epicenter of Bergen County. We had 12 offers on this house. Mm-hmm. So I mean, half of them were from Manhattan. Half of them were from New York of some capacity too. So it's a lot of people looking to get out of that city life and get to an area like this. So if this does happen again, if there's another pandemic where we're stuck in the house, at least you can walk around your neighborhood and not feel like you're, potentially in an area where that's very congested to be infected. So, there's a lot of new dynamics. There's also the dynamic of, we took like a break, let's say. When this first went out, I'll give you a little background. I'm jumping to, and I apologize. So I sit on a lot of boards in town in New Milford. That's one of the things that we focus on is community and giving back. And I coach a bunch of sports in town. I sit on the zoning board. I sit on the board of education. I sit on the Little League board. But when we got word that the schools were shutting down, I kind of got word of that a day or two before, it was officially official. So immediately I had this information and I got very nervous and scared. And I think I shut down for that first weekend. I think I was like cuddled in a ball in the corner of my house, like, woe is me, what are we going to do? And quickly, my partner, my wife, smacked that out of me and said, you can't be like that. You gotta, we gotta move forward. And eventually I would have kicked out of it myself too. But that was my initial gut reaction, just to be totally vulnerable. That was the knee jerk was to get scared and nervous and shut down. And what we did is we shifted. And yeah, for 2 weeks, we took a hiatus from the business. We made sure everybody felt safe. And we just kind of like took a break and said, let's see where we're at in 2 weeks. And then within 2 weeks, we started the show again. People started to get back out there. We did lose some deals because of people losing their jobs. So, again, it's not just like all been like this great thing because we, and there's been no issues. We've had our issues, but we've adapted. And now we're dealing with agents that haven't really come out of the house potentially in a month and a half to 2 months. And it's a whole new world for them. And we got to get used to the fact that we're comfortable now out there selling kind of like normal, the new normal. But some agents, this is the first time they're going into a house with a client at all. Mm-hmm. And, you have to take that into consideration when you're speaking to them. You got to be empathetic. That's a big part of what we do. The relationship between not just our clients and ourselves, but the relationship between other realtors is important to us because we got to take ourselves out of this situation. This business is not for us. This business is for the clients that we're serving. We are, granted, this is a great living and it puts food on the table, but when we sell and buy when we sell a house for somebody or sell a house to somebody, this is for their family, their legacy. So we have to keep that in mind. The relationship is really important.
But let's talk about the reality. And the reality is this, and I'm not going to make any friends on this remark. Realtors took way too much time off. And the reason why I say that is because they could have adapted to more of the virtual tools that were out there. But instead, the majority of the real estate agents that I've seen that were maybe powerhouse players in the industry, maybe fly-by-night real estate agents, maybe people getting into real estate, maybe people just waking up after their nice winter nap, have taken such a short period of time to focus on working with buyers. People are telling me, I turned off my Zillow leads. I turned off fast track leads. Whatever the leads were, whatever the leads are, they cut it loose. And I'm like, why in God's name would you stop marketing in this time frame when everybody else is going in the other direction? I'm always running through walls. So for me, we didn't slow down. That was the whole purpose of me doing the 12 o'clock show during the day. I took a couple of days off. But the purpose of doing the 12 o'clock show is to get out there to show people, look, things are happening. Things are moving. So realtors taking time off, I think they made a mistake. I think, majority of them, from what I've been hearing, and they joke around, watching Netflix, gained a lot of weight. Realization of, and this is what I've heard. This people, agents talking about, I hate my kids. I think I have to get a divorce from my husband. So there's a laundry list of what's going on. So I think realtors took way too much time off from the real estate agent, and the people that are out there plugging like yourself that really have a 2-month jump over the other agents in the industry that basically took a long nap when really what they needed to do was focus more on the virtual side. Now, you guys are very tech savvy, so you understand the tech side of it. But I want to ask you a question because so everybody has a different take on it. And there was 2 articles that were published. One said that people were moving out of New Jersey in droves. And then there's another article that said that people are moving into New Jersey in droves. So my question is, What's your question? Are people moving into New Jersey?
Yeah. So let me acknowledge one thing you said before about the virtual stuff. We, just to be clear, we had 2 homes that were not, no entrance, no physical entrance was allowed before an offer was accepted, and we did virtual open house only, and we had multiple offers on both. The multiple offer situation on both of them, both, I would say about 50% of those offers were people from out of state, mostly New York, not necessarily Manhattan only, but the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, New York, that area is definitely moving into New Jersey. And then, you know what? Yes, people are looking to move out. We have people that we're dealing with now that we're going to move back to where they're from originally, in Wisconsin, closer to retirement. And they're like, you know what, with all this stuff going on now, it's just kind of made us realize that we don't need to wait. We got to go now. So it's not like they're running out of New Jersey because they're scared of New Jersey. What I think is happening is this allowed people to, we call it the great pause. I heard somebody refer to it as that, so I'm not going to coin it as my own, but that's what this is. It gives people a time to reflect. We didn't take any time off, but what we did do is, because, listen, there was no coaching, because all the meetings that I had that were for the town were virtual. What it did allow us to do, excuse me, is it allowed us to reorganize, wipe the slate clean, and figure out what the priorities are in our life and in our business, and really move forward with those. So I think that's what's happening here. It's not so much that people are, and it's not that it's not this. People are afraid. And what I really think the main cause is, it's making people evaluate their lives and say, is this what I want? Do I want to be in this area? Do I want to be in this area? And that is causing people to move in and out of the state. So that's what it's given us. It's given us an opportunity, not just an opportunity to sell, but it's just giving us opportunities to regroup and think and train.
I think there's going to be a lot of people right now that, or they should be if they're not, working on their organization skills, working on their training, finding out more about, virtual showings. Look, the internet, it's not like it happened overnight. The internet's been around for a very long time. I truly believe in the next 6 to 12 months, you're going to see a lot of real estate agents that have been in the industry for a while are going to start retiring, or they're going to move out of the area. This is something where you're going to see a big purge of real estate agents hopefully hang up their licenses. And when I say hopefully hang it up, it's like, look, if you can't keep up with technology and the times and what's going on in your environment, and you can't figure out how to table it, use it to your advantage of your clients first, and then be able to use it for yourself, you're going to lose. Look, iPhone came out in 2007, the original iPhone, right? So this is the upgraded version of it, right? This is the back phone. Look at the camera on my older phone, right, which is still a new phone, and look at the camera on my newer phone. So technology is always changing, much like real estate. And the people that I work with and that I coach and I train, they're like, dude, it's like you don't care about what's going on right now. You care more about the future. I always have to be up on what's going on in the future because, look, in 2005, when I got into real estate and short sales, people didn't know who I was. They didn't know what the hell a short sale was. 2007, people knew who I was, and they understood what short sales were because I was doing training on it for classes. So I understand what is going on in the market right now. People are still purchasing properties. People are still buying properties. People are selling properties. It might be a different way of selling, a different type of environment. Real quick, let's talk about this. You had mentioned this to me about a week or two ago, and you said, Matt, can I talk about it during the day? And I said, absolutely. You're not selling a service. Right now, we're talking about offering, advice. One of the things that you're doing is you're offering and you're hiring team members to be part of your team. You are much like me. People that work with me and my team, they're not working for me. They work with me and their family members. Let's talk about the fact that you guys are actually hiring during COVID-19. What are you guys offering agents that are floundering out there right now that are saying, hey, look, I am lost. I don't have a direction. What can you guys offer?
Certainty. So we have a team right now. We have 8 agents with, and again, I say team, I don't mean, we coin ourselves Team Levine, and we are not the type of agents let me say this correctly, and let me think about how I want to say this, because I'm not looking to insult anybody, but I'm not looking for, unless you happen to be a Levine and you fit right in, that sounds great. But we're looking for people to join 194 Real Estate Group to have their own identity. That doesn't mean that we're not here to mentor you and train you. And that's what the core of what we do is in the training that we provide. There's many structured companies out there and that offer training. And then after the training, I feel like there may not be so many opportunities. Again, that might be because they're part of a team where they're basically showing for people. So we're not looking for, any type of assistance. We're looking for people that want to join a team that's growing. We want to put you on our backs and move forward with you. Like this is a true team. This is not, we have integrity. We also do have formalized training as well. Not really going to get into that too much, but what this, sorry, let me get some water here. What this opportunity where we had a little bit of a worldwide pause has allowed us to do is really focus on adding value to ourselves. So what we do is we train with a group called Unblinded, and I'm sure if you follow us on Facebook that you've heard us talk about it before. And it's an integrity-based human influence sales training. And it really has been an amazing tool for me and the team members that are using it, because what it does is it allows you to connect with people on a deeper level. And that's, I think, something that is missing from a lot of industries is that true connection. There's a surface level rapport, but we look to build deep rapport with people, and not just the clients, but with our agents as well. That's why we consider them like family and not just, team members as well.
Well, listen, I could totally appreciate that. So basically, let's give people a little bit more information about you. At 194 Real Estate Group, we understand buying and selling homes is one of the greatest financial, emotional investments that you're ever going to make. Okay. You guys are working with a professional agent that gave trust is essential key to success. Without the knowledge and dedication, providing the best, more important, timely information to your clients. 194 Real Estate Group is a source of real estate industry insight and advice. Okay, you guys believe that if you're not having a wonderful experience, and obviously whoever the person is or the individual is not getting the job done. It's about relationships, the foundation of success. Therefore, we measure success through the satisfaction of our clients, right? And the accolades of the rewards. And you know what? I agree with that. And that's something that you wrote and that you sent to me. And that's important that people understand that. You are very much for people before profit. And there's not a lot of real estate agents that are like that. They're like, okay, I got to worry about paying my lights. I got to worry about paying, the gas, the electricity, the curb appeal on the building outside. You had mentioned to me that when you were first opening up your agency, that you're going to put everybody else first. You didn't care if you made money in the beginning because you wanted to help others and you wanted to have an environment where people can come and they could learn as real estate agents, but also have them have a little bit more understanding. Look, it doesn't matter what industry you're in, right? It's about customer service. And that was ingrained in you since you were a little kid, going into local, hardware store. And, I still remember the van that your dad had, and he would do, handyman things and fix your lift. So there's a lot of things that I remember growing up. And, having your dad and your grandpa in town was a staple, so right. You've taken that, you've ingrained that in your soul. Obviously, Catherine, and I say this, not lightly, say this, your better half, obviously, is taking this with you, and you're taking this thing to the next level. So I think it's really great that you have all that different stuff. So
that's a good segue. Real quick, let me acknowledge the fact that so my wife and I we work as a true team, where anything that I lack she picks up and vice versa. We really do have a great relationship in that regard. We really work well together, especially when we're dealing with a couple. When we're dealing with it's not just one person. Sometimes she vibes better with someone, so we really do mesh really well with people. And empathy, I think, is the biggest takeaway for that. We're both very empathetic to people's needs.
Absolutely. So, listen, if I had a choice between you or your wife, I would have loved to have interviewed your wife. I know. She's more clean shaven. So
she is. I shaved a little bit.
We appreciate that. What does the future look like for you? What's the future look like for you and the team, and for your real estate company.
All right, so that's an exciting question. So one of the things that we pre-corona always had, or a vision of, was becoming. You mentioned the word boutique before, and that's big for us because when my father owned the hardware store, when we owned the Verizon store, although Verizon was a big big corporation, we were an independent dealer, and we were more boutique style. So I like that word, although boutique sometimes may limit us a little bit. Right. So we've kind of coined powerhouse boutique. So initially what that was going to look like could have looked like, this big building with many different departments, media, coaching, a legal department, account, the whole gamut, a full agency. Right. With Corona, that sounds like a lot of overhead. So with the way the future could be for some people, and you look at all the articles of the people going out of business, and you're like, wow, I can't believe these people are going out of business or going online only. So with that in mind, what we're doing now is not only are we looking to hire at 194 and grow our team, like I said, we have a great team, and the team members that we have now are chosen, not just hired. We've had, we're not the typical agency where I feel like it's almost up to the agent where they work. We do have an idea of what our agents would be like, and we try to fit that avatar. Obviously, again, we're open and we're flexible at times, and when we see something in somebody, we'll roll with it. But it's not just a place. It's not just a place where you get to work. We want you to want to work here, and we want to have you. So what we want to do with people is we want to not just network. And I know we all go to a lot of networking events, and it's too random for me. I'm very busy. We do tons of things. We do tons of business. We're volunteering all over the place, and networking is just so random. And either you get something out of it or you don't. You talk to somebody or you don't. You have a connection or you don't. It's too random. So when we talk about ecosystem merging, right now what we're doing is we're building a team, and it's 10 individuals, including myself, that don't necessarily have anything to do with real estate, but also have something to do with real estate. So, for instance, in my team, I have a leadership coach, I have a mortgage broker, I have a matrimony attorney, we have a lactation consultant, which is for new families, new babies. We have real estate agents, and we have in the service industry of cleaning paver patios. And what that sounds like to me is a group of people that I've chosen specifically because of their values. Not just because of what they do, but because of who they are as people. And instead of networking, what we're going to do is we're going to ecosystem merge and co-create something new. So we do that with realtors, and we'll teach our realtors how to do that. So basically, you create your own ecosystem that you don't need to worry about canceling the Zillow leads when there's no money coming in, because you don't need to worry about leads, because what you're doing is you're creating new opportunities for yourself and the 9 other individuals within your circle. So it is a very surface level of what I'm saying, but that's what we teach you to do at 194. We don't teach you, how to go online and pay for leads, or we don't want you to come in and say, what leads are you giving us? Which we will give you leads. Right now we're very busy, and it's not. We're not people that are going to take these leads for ourselves. We want time, money, magic. We want all those things, and I can't have that. My wife and I can't have that, just putting all the work on our shoulders. We want to grow our team and our company so that everybody rises with us, because we truly know what it looks like when you put the people and the people in your organization first. Because I've been in organizations where the profit was before the person, and I'm not in that organization anymore, and I would hope that they regret that.
Mm-hmm. Regret what? The fact that you left?
That's what we do. Say that?
You regret
garbage man here, so in the backyard.
You think they regret you think they regret, or maybe have thought about the regret of letting you guys go based on, what you offer and what you bring to the table?
I say this with love, with integrity, with humility, and I'm a confident person. I'm not overly cocky, but hell yes.
Okay.
I don't see. We're looking for, I mean this again, total humility, but we're looking for people like us. That's what I'm looking for. This 10 people are like-minded. So I don't see how anyone, again, and no, it's not even about the real estate industry, just in general, in life, growing up, I know there was opportunities that I had that maybe someone said they didn't think I could do. And I look back and I'm happy for those moments because everything was growth. But I like to think that I rose above.
What do you think some of the things right now are working for you in real estate?
Relationships. It sounds like, well, what do you mean just relationships? Yeah. Also, we're in front of a lot of people. So microphone and stage. This is a microphone and a stage.
Mm-hmm.
We now not only am I getting in front of your people, you're getting in front of my people, and now this still could be considered transactional. If we do this once, it's transactional.
Mm-hmm.
But if we create something around our two ecosystems, we're going to create new opportunities for you, new opportunities for me, and new opportunities for all the people within our ecosystem because it's not transactional. It's actually like two circles starting to merge together, and then the middle space is a new area that didn't exist before. So, think about, Pepsi and Yankee Stadium. I don't even know if they're the ones who sponsor or what, but, companies merge so that sponsorships happen. And that's how business is done. And that's not, that's an ecosystem merge. That's two ecosystems coming together to form something new. So that's what we look to do at 194. And, we can still do the networking events because I'm not saying that you shouldn't do those. I'm just saying we would like to, what we do is we look to do things that are calculated. And sometimes networking events are not as calculated. There's somebody who says, if I'm not speaking at the event, I'm not going.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with that. But I understand what you're saying. Look, in the environment that we're in right now, I looked on my phone. I have about 4,963 Facebook friends.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say you have 4,000 some odd friends or whatever it is. So maybe we only have 300 and some odd friends in common. The purpose of me doing these lives during the day is what you just said: networking, relationships, intertwining. Pepsi, Coke, Yankee Stadium, Giant Stadium, whatever it is. It's all about sharing and offering parallel service. Look, one day somebody might want to drink Diet Pepsi, but for whatever reason, they really like drinking regular Coca-Cola. So I look at people as opportunity. Most people look at people as competition. I don't look at people as competition. I look at everybody as opportunity. And I think that if most people had that type of attitude and business savvy, I think that their businesses would flourish and grow. And as I said, look, it's not always all about the money. Did my company take a little bit setback because of COVID-19? Yes. We've had closings get delayed. We've actually had buyers, investors, not our normal investors that we work with, but investors that felt they were dragging their feet. And basically, we need to move forward. We got approval letters. We got to move forward. People get bounced out, and the more seasoned, investors that we're dealing with, they're grabbing them. We put a deal together, fell apart in 24 hours. Maybe 48 hours. Leah and Will on my team were able to secure one of the investors that we deal with, and they're purchasing the property. They're closing in 2 weeks. So it's like, and I think a lot of what's going on the investor side, I think people are nervous because they don't understand the market. People are thinking that the bottom is going to fall out. I don't necessarily think the bottom is going to fall out. I think there is going to be a little bit of correction. But as of right now, houses are flying off the shelf. Why not take advantage of it? So if you can get a house, fix it. Look, I got to go look at 3 properties today. Little old Matt Marinoff, 3 properties.
Right.
I'm not quote unquote mainstream, right? As a fix and flip guys, but people know me, and I have a small corral of people, and they know that I also do purchase properties myself, and or if the opportunity is there, I might do a wholesale or 2. I don't necessarily wholesale short sales, but if it's a property and it makes sense, you actually went to go take a look at property that I had in Rivervale.
Yeah. No, so and let me touch on what you said just now, that you may not be the biggest, but you have 3. So that's kind of that's really what my point is that when you're when you have followers,
Yep.
and I think the industry of advertising through Instagram and Facebook and followers is shifting already, and it's gonna take a hard shift. But just because you have 1 million or 2 million followers doesn't mean you have influence over people.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean integrity-based influence. I'm just saying. So I'd rather deal with the Chamber of Commerce, who has 25 members, who those 25 members are very, very much committed to the leadership in that group. I'd rather merge ecosystems with him than the guy with 5 million followers, because I can tell you I might have 4,900 Facebook friends on my Facebook, but if this call was not live on Facebook and you just said, hey, bring 5 of your people, I'll bring 5 of my people, let's get on a little meet and greet together, and let's think outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
That to me that no longer becomes random. That becomes intentional. That becomes almost like a sports team drafting their players. And that's what I'm thinking about with this, when I call it a 10 by 10 with our team, is like we've drafted superstars from all different industries that we're going to start to basically create speaking engagements with each other within our networks.
Right.
So those ecosystems truly start to merge. So that's outside of the box marketing that we do, and again, and also not saying that we're not also all over Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn with content. That's great too. But if it takes me 20 minutes to meet somebody new, or it takes me 20 minutes to try to figure out the best quote to quote in the morning, I'm going to do somebody new and forget about the quote. And unfortunately, I won't get those 12 likes. You know what I mean? So I think that's the difference.
Listen, people say to me, Matt, your viewership goes up and down. Sometimes some of the videos you get live, you get like 67 people over the course of the 45 minutes will come in. Sometimes you only get 23. Listen, here's my thought, right? It's the rule of thumb, right? It's percentages. If you get 100 people in the room, only 1% of those 100 is really going to take massive action. The majority of these people are throwaways. They don't take action. They're professional, quote unquote trollers that either go to, investment club meetings, and that's fine. Some people never want to get outside the box. I've stepped out of the investment world as far as going to investment clubs, and then if I shoot back in every now and then, every couple of years, some of them are like, they're lifers. They've never done a transaction. They're still working, looking for that perfect deal or whatever it is, and that's okay. Much like being a leader in any industry, you have people that are worker bees, and then you have people that literally are driving force, or the true entrepreneurs. Now, I don't know if you agree. I don't know if you agree with me on this, and I've said it multiple times, and I know that I've pissed real estate agents off with it, which is awesome, because then I know I'm doing something right. Is where real estate agents need to look at themselves as entrepreneurs. It's not a 9-to-5 job. You have to think outside the box. There's a very well-known real estate agent with a very big brand name organization. And I'm not going to say whether it's a he or a she or whatever it is, but what cracks me up about this individual, they don't take calls and ask for a certain time. They don't take calls. They actually get annoyed. And my thing is, listen, if you don't want to pick up the phone call, don't pick it up. Don't pick up the telephone and have an attitude. Let it go to voicemail. I don't take phone calls after a certain amount of time. Call me tomorrow. Matter of fact, call me on Monday. It's like, are you serious? How long does that type of stuff last? So, when you don't have that entrepreneurial, or you do have it, and maybe you're going towards, a severe burnout. We lost Jay. He'll be back. You're going towards a severe burnout in the industry. And I think that's where you need to recheck or rethink, reorganize, regroup mentally. You might have to add someone to your team. Social media is huge. That's what I talk about all the time. Outside the market, outside the box marketing is so important. You have to have the outside the box marketing. If you don't have that, especially in this type of environment, you're not going to get a win. And when I say win, you're not going to be able to work with people, individuals that are going to understand your quest. We're having a little technical difficulties with Jay. Hopefully he'll be able to come back on. Hopefully we haven't lost him for the rest of the day. But Guys, the purpose of doing these live at 12 o'clock is to build brand awareness of other people that are out there. Guys, remember, I don't look at people as competition. I look at everybody's opportunity. So I'm bringing people on from different types of organizations to come in, talk about their real estate company, talk about, what it is that they're offering as far as services. Might be a niche for you, might not be a niche for you, might want to work for you, might not want to work for you. But the outside of the box thinking is so important in this industry. In short sales, me working with homeowners that are in trouble with their property and not understanding their options, very important. Explaining and working with real estate agents that I work with on a daily basis that are out there knocking on doors, contacting expired listings, sending mailers, reaching out through social media to reach cousins, family members to try to find out a little bit more about what is going on in their side of the industry and trying to find out, do they really want help? Do they want to know options? One of the things I talk about and I train people with is know your options. So if you're talking with somebody and take this and try it and reach out to me and let me know if it works. If you're talking with somebody and you're getting a lot of hang-ups or a lot of FUs, why not trade? Look, before you hang up on me, I want to ask you this question because I know nobody else is asking it. Are you looking for options? Are you looking for an opportunity to try to find out what may or what may not help you as far as your quest? Are you looking to sell your property? Are you looking to keep your property? Is there a time frame in which you need to move? People want to know that you're really trying to offer help, not that you're calling like every Tom, Dick, and Harry and stating what you can do better than the other real estate agent that may or may not have done a wonderful job trying to market their house. It also could be about timing. It could be about the homeowner not letting people in the house, or restrictions on letting in the house, having a lockbox, no lockbox on the property. So there's a lot of things that are out there that people really need to understand and try to configure and put into their daily activities. Most importantly, more than anything else, with the outside of the box thinking with the marketing, people need to understand the wants and the needs of the individuals that they're speaking with. Don't just hear yourself speak. One of my friends talks about commission breath. Jen Romero says, and she says she didn't phrase it, but she says commission breath, where people are talking and you can clearly hear all the way through what they're stating as far as their intentions. And if your intentions are not pure and you're not offering a service to somebody or something that they can utilize, then you know what? I don't think it's going to be able to work, and you're not going to be able to be successful. And the other thing is people give up way too easily. So when I talk about outside the marketing concept of it, and we lost Jay, I don't know if he's coming back. And basically outside the box marketing concept is what Real Estate Recovery Group is helping others with as well, whether you're a real estate agent, whether you're an investor. I have attorneys that ask me for advice that are stumped right now as far as the industry, what's going on in the industry. They're, some days they're busy, some days their phones don't ring. So everybody across the board is in a little bit of a pandemic with the pandemic. See what I did there? Play on words. And they're looking for additional methods to be able to better their business. So there's nothing wrong with, social distancing. I don't think there's any issues with going and knocking somebody's door as long as you're, staying away from them. But the majority of the people that had walked away as far as real estate agents and real estate agents taking too much time off, I don't agree with that. People were so frantic and worried about it and worried about what the government was talking about and what they were offering as far as status reports. It wasn't really favorable for the real estate industry, but yet the industry is still thriving. What does that tell you? Pandemic or not, people need to purchase properties, people need to sell properties, people need to rent properties. So guys, I appreciate having my guest on today, who is Jay Levine from 194 Real Estate. Let's see if we can get him back on here. Jay, you back on?
I'm sorry, my internet went down. Jeez, I'm on my cell phone now. Sorry.
Oh, wow, your internet went. Okay, cool. Well, hopefully nobody calls you. I was actually closing out the call. Jay, maybe you could just, give us a little bit of reasoning or closing up about, why, you're excited about, the whole virtual side of the real estate and why you're here to stay and, why you're excited about all the growth.
Yep. So I apologize again for cutting out there. Not sure what happened. But yes, so 194 Real Estate Group is on the cutting edge of everything we do. We're always looking to grow. We're always looking to innovate. We never want to stay stagnant. We want to make sure that our agents always feel that there is room to grow within the organization. So that's really important to us. It's not a place where we want you to sit and just be. We want you to grow and flourish, and we'll teach you how to do that. It's all about relationships. It's all about marketing yourself. It's all about getting out there, getting a mic, getting a stage, being confident about what you have to offer people, and we'll be there to help you help that emerge from you as well. What we can offer you at 194 as virtual wise, I mean, listen, we are on the cutting edge already of we were always doing all the virtual tours at our houses, and we're not going to stop. No matter when this is, I think we'll still be doing a virtual open house for the first half hour of every open house, because you know what, there's buyers coming from all over the place, and there's going to be people that are still nervous about going inside, even when people say, okay, you're allowed back, go ahead, go in. There's still going to be buyers out there that may be nervous. So having a little bit of an extra space for those buyers to still come out and have an opportunity to get a house through that virtual tour is important. So that's something we're not going to stop doing. We're going to continue that on when open houses open back up again as well.
Awesome. Guys, my guest today is Jay Levine from 194 Real Estate. They're based out of New Milford, New Jersey. Him and his lovely wife, Catherine, run the organization. They now have how many full-time real estate agents?
Including us, 9.
They now have 9 altogether. These are full-time powerhouse real estate agents, which is really great. Look, as always, the shows are coming on at 12 o'clock during the day. If you know somebody or if you think of somebody who you think would be great to have on the show, definitely, point them in the direction. As long as it's real estate related, we'd love having new people on. It's not about the people also that I'm doing business with, like Jay and his wife and the company. And that we're obviously reaching out to other parts of the country to get, other feels from other people. So Monday through Friday, 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And obviously, look, if you guys want to learn more about short sales and you're not a part of the short sale group that we have, it's a short sale 101 group. You just have to answer a couple questions to get on there. Jay, what's your thought on short sales since you took the Short Sale Bootcamp Expo? What's your thought on that?
So it certainly opened our eyes. We were, be very honest, we were hot on them right after that event because you had fired us up big time. We shifted a little bit, not away from them. We were working with a lot of investors that were looking towards short sales as well, but I think it's a big opportunity missed for agents, even ourselves. And in fact, that's another point of this whole ecosystem merging is I would love to have an agent who wanted to specifically, specialize in something like that. And I would help facilitate that, obviously, through Matt, and, that would be a nice add as well. So we're looking for somebody who wants to be the second short sale savage.
Well, there's only one short sale savage. They could be the short sale, maybe Prince.
There you go.
Or Apprentice. But other than that, I don't know about that. So I appreciate you coming on, Jay. So at the end of every show, I ask people to emulate the finger point. So I'd like to see if you can do it. So you nailed it. You nailed it.
It's got attitude.
I'm going to give you an 8.5.
Woo, I'll take it. I'll take it.
That's actually the highest I've had so far, dude.
I like that.
I like that. I like that a lot. So, Jay, thanks so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. Hold on one second, everybody. This is Jay Levine, my guest today from 194 Real Estate, 194realestate.com. You can get to him directly at 201-906-0519. That's 201 906-0519. And you can also email him at the team Levine Realtors at gmail.com. They are hiring, guys. So if you're in New Jersey and you're looking for something and you want to grab on and get onto the next wave of real estate and understand a little bit about marketing individuals and finding out. You've got 4 years experience in the industry, but you've got a lifetime of customer service, and I'll take that over 25 years in the real estate industry. So, Jay, thanks so much for coming on. I appreciate it, guys. I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. Have a good day, everybody. Feel good.